Hi guys, you got Viksit Arora here. So today we are going to discuss about the Pakistan International Airlines crash that just recently happened on 22nd May 2020. 22nd May is also known as the Black Day of aviation history in India as well. So before I'm going to start, I just want to thank Captain Gaurav and Captain Tapesh Kumar for providing useful information about this recent crash to me. And one more thing I would like to make sure that it is generally known that after a crash, if the pilot is alive, then blame him, and if he's dead, then shame him. Okay, this is not considered a very good thing because I believe that the captain and the first officer of this flight must have performed everything which is correct according to them at that particular point of situation. Because right now we are sitting at this chair, and we cannot just think that what that crew must have gone through at that time. So here in this video, I'm not going to blame anyone or shame anyone. And this is not a concluding video, it is just a pilot's perspective analysis of the crash, that what might happen and what were the consequences and the causes which led those. Okay, so this was PK8303, the code of the airline was PIA, that is IATA code. Okay, so this was scheduled from Lahore to Karachi. So it was supposed to take off from Lahore at 1 p.m. and land at Karachi at 2:45 p.m. Okay, so and this was an Airbus A320 which was first flown in 2004, so which is approximately around 16 years old. So this flight took off at 1 p.m. as scheduled from Lahore, and everything was going as normal just before the pilot started approach for Karachi. So now I will tell you that Karachi has two runways. Okay, so imagine that this will be the Karachi airspace. Okay, Karachi airport boundary I'm talking about. Okay, so it has two runways, one this one and one over this one. So I will mark these runways as runway 25 left and runway 25 right. Okay, the flight was supposed to land at runway 25 left as per the ATC and the pilot's requirements. Okay, so this aircraft had 99 people on board, 91 passengers and 8 crew members. So as the pilot started approach for runway 25 left. Okay, so now I'm just talking about runway 25 left. Okay, so I'm erasing runway 25 right. Okay, so let us see. This will be runway 25 left. Okay, so as the pilot started the approach for runway 25 left, like before, like around 6 to 7 nautical miles, we just deployed the gears down for landing. So as the pilot did that, he noticed that the landing gears did not deploy, or they didn't get locked due to maybe a technical reason or something. So after certain warnings, they finally decided to perform a belly landing. So belly landing is a thing when the gears don't deploy of an aircraft and they land on the base of the engines and the lower body of the aircraft. Okay, so then finally pilot decided to perform a belly landing because gears were not deploying, so ultimately you have to get the aircraft down on the ground. So as they started approach for the belly landing, okay, so as the plane touched down on the runway, so the plane was not in a stabilized mode at that particular point of time, so pilot decided to perform a go around from runway 25 left. So before going ahead, I will tell you, go around is a procedure when pilot aborts landing, or after touchdown he performs to encircle again around the airport to come back again for the runway to make a landing. Maybe the reasons may be quite few. Maybe one of them is this, that the plane was not in a stabilized mode, so that's why the pilots decided to perform a go around. Okay, so the plane took off and the pilots were instructed to climb to 3,500 feet after touchdown from the runway. Okay, so now I will tell you one thing. Like suppose you can see, like this is Airbus A320, right? This is the drawing of Airbus A320 which I drew for remembering the lives of those people who were no more now. Okay, so these are the landing gears of Airbus A320. Now you can see if the landing gears don't deploy, so the next thing hanging down from the aircraft is the engines. Okay, so now if the gears didn't deploy of this aircraft, so you may obviously think that what might have caused the accident. So it was known that when the plane was on second attempt, the pictures taken from the plane spotter's camera at that point of time, it showed that the engines were black from beneath. So which means that plane performed a belly landing on the engines, in which the engine's lower part got crashed. Okay, it got screeched, it got black out from this side. So which may be the possible cause for the engine failure, which gradually caused later on. Okay, so the pilots were on the second approach. So what happened? They performed an ILS approach. So before going ahead, I will tell you what is ILS. ILS is Instrument Landing System. Okay, it is a beam out light from the end of the runway. So imagine this will be the runway 25 left. Okay, so this will be an ILS beam which an aircraft has to capture before landing. Okay, so if you are coming from here, so the aircraft will capture like this way, and if you are coming from here, it will capture from this way. So this is for the directions, and you have to get established on the center line of the runway to land the aircraft perfectly. Okay, so this is from the side view, and I am telling you the glide slope of the runway. Okay, so imagine this will be the runway, and this will be the runway's glide slope. Okay, so in this glide slope, if your aircraft is coming from here, so basically it is a 3-degree angle which your aircraft has to maintain before landing. So aircraft will be coming from here at this point of time and will be landing at the touchdown zone of this runway. Okay, so I will not go into much technicalities. Okay, so just explaining a bit of the ILS approach system. So the aircraft was established on ILS when it performed this belly landing, and now it is again going to perform a second attempt of after this landing. Okay, so pilots generally after aborting the landing, they started their second approach from this side. Okay, the ATC instructed to fly to heading 110. 110 will be something around here, so the pilots has to take this turn, and the ATC wanted that after making again one left turn, it will again make the aircraft establish on the ILS in this way. Okay, so what happened? Everything was going on as normal, but I heard the ATC recordings also, and in that recording when the pilot said that yes, we are going to make a second attempt and we are going to get established on the ILS, there was a caution warning sound which was getting heard in that ATC recording, which may probably be the sound of the engine failure. The pilots were getting aware that the engines, both engines are going to fail after a certain point of time, because obviously as the plane landed on the engines, the lower part of the engines got damaged too much that it was not supposed to support the aircraft afterwards. Okay, so what happened? The engine got damaged, maybe the fan blades must have got damaged in that time. So both the engines got failed. Okay, so when the plane reached over here, right, in this way, like it was just few miles away from landing. Okay, so it reached here, and when the pilots received the warning of engine failure, they decided to make a third landing attempt, and they wanted to go around again. Okay, so now you must be thinking that if the engines are failed, the engine is not providing much thrust, so why did the pilots thought of going again for the third attempt? Okay, so that reason is still not known. Investigations are going on, so let us see afterwards what happens. Okay, so I'll make it more clear for you guys. So the plane was somewhere around here when the pilots got the intimation that the engines are going to fail. Okay, so the ATC requested them to fly again to back 110 heading probably, so that they may again get established on the ILS from here, because ATC wanted that it will take the aircraft from this way and make the aircraft established on the ILS from this side. Okay, so that the plane gets aligned to the center line of the runway and makes a stable landing. Okay, so what happened as the plane started this way, going this side for the third attempt, both the engines were lost. Yeah, so as the pilot was approaching runway 25 left for its second landing attempt after the belly landing, so what happened, the pilot was established on the false localizer instead of the true localizer, which I just explained about the ILS approach. So if this is the runway 25 left and the average glide slope was this thing, okay, so when the pilot was established on this localizer, he was established somewhere here. That may be some false localizer from the runway. Okay, so because if from the Karachi runway 25 left, the height which aircraft should have before 6 nautical miles from the runway should be around 2,000 feet. But when he was 5 nautical miles away from the runway, he was at 3,500 feet. Okay, which is a thing to worry because he was established on a false glide slope. Okay, so that is quite normal. Okay, it's fine. So the pilot may later realize on that he was not on the correct height. So in this situation, the pilot will not land over the touchdown zone. He will land somewhere over here, because he has to maintain the 3-degree path also. Okay, so he was established on a false localizer. So then what happened? The ATC kept on telling that you are at 3,500 feet and you are 5 nautical miles away. He was just trying to warn the pilot that you are not on the correct height for the landing. Okay, but at that point of time, when you already performed the belly landing and you have given the master caution for the engines, so at that time the crew are so stressed. So like they think that yes, ATC is doing a normal conversation. He's just telling us information ki you are at this point of time and you are at this particular altitude. So he thought it is a normal thing which ATC is trying to convey him. Okay. So now what happened? Like because it is generally known that when a person is so stressed, the first sense he loses is the sense of hearing. When we are stressed, when we are depressed, we don't want to hear anything. We just want to think on our own that yes, what I'm doing, I just want to think upon that. So in this situation also the pilot thought he didn't pay much attention to the ATC at that time. Okay, so when the pilot reached over here, I just told that this engine, both the engines got failed, so he wanted to go for the third landing attempt. Okay, so now the plane again turned back for the third landing attempt, And then what happened, the engines stopped providing thrust. Okay, so it's generally known that a plane can fly on one engine, but this situation is really worse, which a pilot can imagine, because both engines are lost, and now the pilots are informing the Karachi tower that we have lost our both engines and we need to perform a third landing attempt. And now we will not make a third landing attempt from over here this side. Okay, he's not going to go for the like ILS established over this side. Okay, he will just turn left from here because he has lost both the thrust. Okay, and he need to get down the aircraft as soon as possible. Okay, so now Karachi tower told the pilots that both the runways are available for landing, whichever suits you the most, you may choose that. Because whenever an aircraft has to make an emergency landing, it's the responsibility of the ATC to clear out the airspace and the ground, so that the priority goes for this aircraft, so that it goes and lands safely. Okay, so it cleared all the runways at Karachi airport, and pilot decided to land at runway 25 left. Okay, but the plane was seeing in the videos also that the plane stalled. Okay, stalled is a term which we use for aircrafts when there is the particular speed which is required for flying the aircraft is not getting provided through the engines, and the plane goes down. So like I will just show you in this one. If this is the aircraft which is going for landing, okay, so what the average landing is like, if the aircraft goes like this and lands over here. Okay, but this thing didn't happen. As the plane loses the thrust, it loses the engine, and before landing the aircraft, the plane goes down like this. Okay, instead of going here, it goes down because the speed is not getting provided to the aircraft. Okay, so after losing both the engines, the plane ultimately got into a stall situation. Okay, so one more thing, like the last resort of an aircraft when both the engines fail is the ram air turbine. Okay, this RAT shortens, and then it is known as ram air turbine. Okay, so it is a kind of mini engine, you can say, which an aircraft deploys from the belly of the aircraft. When both the engines fails, you can say this is the last hope of the pilot to regain the control of the aircraft after you lost the thrust. Okay, so in this case also the ram air turbine was deployed as seen in the videos also, but that thing didn't provide much power to the aircraft so that it can land safely on the runway. Okay, it is just a very small kind of, like, if you it just gives 5% of the main power the aircraft requires. Okay, so for the basic electricals, for maneuvering the aircraft so that you get down safely on the runway. Okay, so this RAT also deployed on this aircraft, but that didn't provide much power so that it can reach the 25 left runway of Karachi airport. Okay, so ultimately the plane stalled, and the last sentences of the pilots were when he reported a mayday call. He said, "Mayday, mayday, mayday, PK8303, both the engines are lost." Mayday is a call when pilots generally use this when the problem for the aircraft is generally affecting or threatening the life of the passengers. Okay, if you lost one engine, then the pilot will call pan, 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 pan call. Okay, but here the threat is directly to the passengers without any delay. So that's why he reported mayday, 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 8303, we have lost both the engines. Okay, and that were the last sentences from the pilot when the plane crashed somewhere around here in the model colony of Karachi, because he couldn't make to the runway because of lack of speed at that point of time. So it is said that if the engines or the RAT may provide power for 40 to 60 seconds more, the aircraft could have landed safely on the runway, but it didn't happen. And the landing speed of an aircraft is between 140 to 150 knots, which will be approximately around 250 kilometers per hour. Okay, so in this situation, when the engines are lost, so if a plane is like at a cruising altitude, there are possibilities that the plane may land safely, because at that time he is at such a particular height in which he can climb the plane and maneuver it anywhere for the runway and approaching for the airport. But here the plane was flying at 2,000 feet. He couldn't make the altitude of 2,000 feet at that time. He was just getting down and down because of the engines. Okay, so in this thing, even the speed was at the landing speed. Okay, before the plane starts approaching for the runway, it prefers the landing speed first so that the speed is stabilized in that manner. Okay, so it was flying between 140 to 190 knots at that point of time. So you can see if the plane goes below 130 knots, the plane is in stall situation, so that it may not fly much more and it starts going down. So that's why in this case also, when the engines were lost, plane was not at a certain cruising altitude or a grade altitude in which the plane could be handled. So as the plane was approaching runway 25 left, okay, it couldn't make to the runway, and ultimately it crashed over the model colony, which is a residential area, because the speed was not enough to make the aircraft reach to runway 25 left. Okay, if the aircraft would have thrust or power for more than 40 to 60 seconds, it could have reached the runway safely. but in this crash it didn't happen, and ultimately 97 people lost their lives in this crash. So before the aircraft was coming for the second landing attempt, the ATC asked the pilots that, are you going to perform a belly landing again? Okay, basically ATCs don't ask these kind of questions, but it was really important because the pilot already performed a belly landing in the first attempt, and because it is quite dangerous for the passengers as well as the airport authorities, because as you can see, if the plane lands on a metal body over a bituminous or asphalt surface, there are chances that a fire may come, and it may explode the aircraft, because the engines may catch fire, and there is fuel over the wings, so even the aircraft can explode, and even the runways will be damaged. Okay, so that's why the ATC wanted to arrange the fire trucks and other essential trucks which may assist the pilots for a belly landing. Okay, but they said that no, we are not performing belly landing. And yeah, second thing is that in the first landing attempt the landing gears didn't deploy, but in the third landing attempt and even the second landing attempt, the gears were deployed as seen in the video when the plane was stalling. So this is a really mystery kind, that how did the gears deploy if they were in a technical fault during the first landing attempt. Okay, so you can see this plane had lots of problem on its approach to the runway. First, the gears didn't get locked, and in second one the engines got failed. Okay, so guys, you think that life is too fragile, like you don't know whenever you're going to lose your loved one, because in this case also and yeah, it was a special flight arranged for these passengers because it was a time of Eid festival, and everybody want to go from one point to another to meet their relatives or loved ones or get to their homes for celebrating. So this was a special flight arranged for them, and before takeoff this aircraft was fully checked. Okay, it was certified as airworthy, and all the tests were performed, and it was fit to fly. But still, due to some technical error or human error, it is still not known. Investigations will come on, and then I will definitely get the answers to you guys. So yeah, so that's why it crashed, and now the reasons are, yeah, there are certain questions which are striking mind of every aviator and every aviation enthusiast for this crash. First one is that when the pilots got to know that the landing gears didn't deploy, so why did they go for deploying the landing gears in a manual way or with a gravitational pull? They directly performed a belly landing. Okay, so this thing could have they could have tried this. Okay, but right now I couldn't just conclude that yes, they didn't try. I believe that they tried best of themselves, that whatever might be correct at that time. Second question is that when the pilots were flying over here and when they got to know that both engines are losing, why did they go for a third attempt? They could have landed simply in the second landing attempt as well. Okay, and there are few more questions also. So whenever investigations will be done, I'll just get the answers to you. Okay, so in this case, it is really tragic death of those people, and for the residential people also. They, like, when the people were boarding the aircraft from Lahore, they didn't even think that yes, they might not be able to see their loved ones, or the people who came to Karachi airport for picking them. So they didn't even think that yeah, we are not going to meet the person whom we are going to pick from the airport. Okay, so it's just a fraction of seconds which can give permanent effects in your life. So guys, please be grateful to your life, please take care of yourself, and always be thankful. And thanks for watching this video. Okay, I hope you got the basic idea of this crash, the cause and effects. Okay, if you have any questions, just write them in the comments and I will try to get the best answers for you guys. Thanks, and rest in peace for those passengers, and thank you. Have a nice day.